Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 21st day of February, 2019. Well, I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. It's snowing again here on the high desert, so the roads were a little slick this morning when we went out and about to go to the grocery store. We thought we'd get that done early rather than trying to go later in the day, but I don't know, maybe it would have been better. It might not have been quite as slick if we'd have waited a bit, but I don't know. We're kind of in this weird weather right now, not real sure what's going to happen. I think that it's going to stay this way though for the rest of the week and maybe into next week. I don't know, maybe the rest of the month. I don't know. But I'm hoping that this dissipates and we can get out and walk again because we didn't get to walk today. So just around the grocery store. Well, today is a 3 energy, numerologically speaking. So mind, body, spirit alignment, catalyst, wholeness. You can use the energy to get something going today. It's a Thursday, so you can use Jupiter's energy if you work in magic. Jupiter's energy is really expansive, so if you want to work something as far as healing or something like that, you can, or maybe maybe you want to look for a job or something, and you want to get yourself in just the right mindset, have the right frame of mind for something, for an interview or something. You could work magics on a Thursday to sort of bring that about, sort of give you that extra little oomph at a job interview, for example. So anything that you need to, the moon is technically waning now, although we're still feeling some full moon energies, so you can still make use of that. It generally a few days before and after, but then once that happens, then the moon really does start its waning phase, and then you start looking at magics of decrease instead of magics of increase. So if you're going to do anything else, you kind of have to shore it up on the other side of it, and support it that way. So you can do that kind of working during a time when typically, you're talking about banishings and bindings and, making something stop and, that you don't like happening or whatever. Endings versus beginnings. Oh, I bought this at the store this morning. This is a skull cup or skull glass or mug. It's huge, isn't it? Look at that. Isn't that cool? Sometimes you just find things, you don't expect to find them. They only had 3 or 4 of them or something. And so I grabbed one and I just thought that is so cool. That's going in my workspace. Right now it's sitting on my altar while I try to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Well, there go some cards on the floor. 3 of them, actually. Let's see what they were. King of Wands, 3 of Wands, and 2 of Swords. So keep those in mind. The saying is, if you drop a card, that's your card. Well, I don't know. Maybe. But just keep those in mind. See if I pull them. Well, let's get started and draw the 13th card. Well, we're going to pull another one. There's the Knight of Wands. Knights are passionate. They're engaging. He's not in battle, but he might be riding off to battle or maybe just getting ready to go. You can see his horse rearing up on his hind legs there. He's got his staff in his hand. Looks more like a club than anything else because you don't really see it down below the horse. But he's ready to go, do battle. Wands represents the fire element and our will. So the knights are people that get things done. They protect. They're dynamic, and they're just people that basically get things done. You need a knight to do something, he'll go do it. But let's see what he's interacting with. if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you've been if you have, then thank you so much for coming back. But whenever I draw a court card, unless it's the last card that I draw, I always draw another one. Court cards usually need somebody to interact with, so let's do another card. Well, here we have the Ten of Cups. So either this is what the knight looks like when he's home and he's happy and fulfilled, or the knight is out there protecting people in the kingdom or in the tribe and protecting their security, their emotional security, giving them emotional fulfillment. You see family, you see joy here. They need do nothing. It's the I need do nothing card, but just be happy. 10 reduces to 1, and so that's new beginnings and fulfillment. So it's almost like he's either gone out and done something that has given him this, or what this is indicating is that there's somebody who's our knight, who's out there protecting us and making sure that our security is preserved. That there's actually somebody in our corner. You know, sometimes we think we're all alone in the world, and we think that there's nobody out there to help us if something happens. You know, my husband and I were just talking about that, sort of, not specifically, but kind of along those lines. You know, that when you're alone and you don't have a whole lot of people around you, you know, and you get older, what happens? You know, if something happens, if your family, if your children don't live around you, or maybe you're not in contact with them, you know, they're not there readily available to pick up the phone. In other words. So it's always nice to know that someone's got your back, and a knight is someone who has your back. So if you're worried about that, then maybe there's somebody there that you're not aware of. You know, sometimes the knights, you know, you don't necessarily know they're there, and it's almost like that they're your little guardian angel that's watching out for you. Let's do another card though. Because this really does feel like that's what's happened, that you've got somebody there. Oh, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, again, another 10 card. This one of the Major Arcana, though. You can see the celestial creatures there, the 4. You see the Sphinx up at the top. The four are basically representing the 4 elements. I'm not sure about the well, you've got the Sphinx, this I believe is the Mercury, sulfur, and I forget what the other is, but I think that's what those 3 represent, if I'm not mistaken on that. A lot of this is Kabbalistic and Hermetic. Some of these interpretations, the initial ones, you know, the Rider-Waite, all of that, A.E. Waite and Mathers and all those people, that was their orientation. And so you'll see a lot of those kinds of references on the traditional decks, and also the more Hermetic oriented decks. But I think that's what that is. It's the 3 basic elements of creation, all surrounding a wheel. And, you know, everything is about cycles as the wheel turns and all of that. And so the Wheel of Fortune is, you know, we don't always know, but whereas today we might not do well, as the wheel turns, tomorrow we might do better. So you just don't know when the wheel spins where it's going to end, do you? But typically this is a very positive card, which then also aligns well with the other 10 in the reading. So I think that what this is really saying, particularly if whether it's our personal life or what's going on around us in society right now in our country, what you've got here, I think, is that there are people here protecting us, people that, whether you're wanting to talk about in terms of what's going on in the government right now with the Mueller investigation, the knight could indicate uh, basically a battle of wills here because we're about to see that report come out next week, I guess. Um, it's likely not the end of things, uh, but basically, everyone is all worried now. They all wanted it to come out, but now it's like, oh my God, now that it is, are we even going to be allowed to know? And to even be talking about that, to even be worried about such a thing, to think that we might not see a report that's about the president of the United States and whether or not he conspired with Russia to become the president of the United States. Oh, you better believe we need to see the report, no matter what it says. So basically, you've got people freaking out now, all worried. I mean, we all knew this was going to happen tentatively at the end of this month, but now that it is, people are freaking out and worried that we might not be able to see it, that this new attorney general might not be truly for this country. It might be in the guy's back pocket. And if that's the case, we might not know. However, you know we're going to know. Well, of course we will, because we just do Kenaz. And Kenaz is the sixth rune of the Elder Futhark. And that's higher self energies, the 6 is. So here we're talking about illumination, aren't we? We can't succeed in darkness. We have to know what's going on to light our way, right? So we can tell what it is we need to do so we know what's going on. Well, Kenaz tells us that we're going to know what's going on and that our Knight of Wands, whether that's someone in our life personally that is there looking out for us, making sure that nothing happens, or whether it's the the big thing that's going on that we're all focused on these days. Maybe the wheel's going to turn in our favor here, and we're going to know the truth about what we all believe we know. And Kenaz, with Kenaz's presence, I would suggest that somehow, some way, we're going to know whether it's done directly, and the new Attorney General is not who people fear he is. You never know. Maybe we have a whole group of people that are out there actually protecting our democracy and our country, and in turn, all of us. Maybe some of these Republicans aren't in bed with the sky. Maybe they're in bed with the country. And maybe they want to see this country survive this. So maybe they're willing to put some safeguards in place. You could look at the Knight of Wands as Andrew McCabe, putting safeguards in place when he knew that his days were numbered, to make sure that that investigation would continue because they knew what they were seeing. So people can say, oh no, it's all fake news. Well, get over yourselves. It's not. And we're going to be finding that out soon. Now, whether or not we have a knight in our lives to protect us, I hope we do, because this thing is so much bigger than us. And that sometimes happens in our personal life, doesn't it? Sometimes what we go through is just so big and there's just nothing we can do. And we need someone to intervene on our behalf when someone isn't listening to us and our lives are about to be dramatically affected and no one will listen. So maybe you do need someone to speak on your behalf. And the Knight of Wands is really just that person. Now, whether you might be that person for others, that's also a good thing. Don't be afraid to stand up for other people. Not everybody can do that for themselves. And so sometimes we just need an extra leg up that way, some extra support. So if you're that for some other person or for everyone in your life, boy, that's cool, because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can be someone else's knight. So if you're that person, keep doing it. You're even if you don't hear it every single moment of your life, you are so appreciated for the effort that you put in for other people. So if I'm talking to Mr. Mueller and his team, well, okay, I'm talking to Mr. Mueller and his team. Thank you for everything that you've done, no matter what you find out. No, and I'm serious about that. If they can't prove anything, well, There's so many other things that can be proven. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with whatever comes out. I just want to know the truth. It doesn't at this point matter to me what it is. It matters that we get it. So a Knight of Wands is going to be somebody that's going to tell the truth. They're going to have integrity and purpose, and they're going to do the right thing. It's going to be about right order. They're going to express the rune Tiwaz in their life, the spiritual warrior within. And when you do that, maybe you're just paving the way for your own fulfillment. But I guarantee you, you're also likely paving the way for fulfillment for other people as well. Well, that's interesting. And numerologically together, then you're talking a 2, so balance. And if there were numbers assigned to the court cards, which there aren't, you can do that though. I've done it just to see, if it changes anything in terms of the numerology. But the Knight of Wands would be a 12, wouldn't it? Which is a 3, which is the numerology for today. So go out and make something happen, even if it's for someone else, even if it's just practicing random acts of kindness. Because let me tell you, when someone does something nice for me, a stranger at the grocery store or somewhere, it just feels so good, And when I do that for someone else, I just do it. Let someone go ahead of me in line and or wave someone out, let them go or whatever if we're out driving or something. If you just do that one little thing, it can make all the difference in the world. I know for me, if it can totally change my mood that someone thought enough of a complete stranger to let them have something first, to let that person go ahead of them. I don't know what that is. That I don't know. It's just the most amazing thing. And so I would say that the real spiritual Knight of Wands is the one that does that does the random acts of kindness that maybe you don't expect anything for. No thank you, no nothing. You just do it just to make someone else's life a little bit easier. So either we have that happening in our lives or we're that. So go, and if we're not, go out and be that for someone. Just go to the grocery store right now. Get up, go to the grocery store and go do something nice for somebody. Let someone go ahead of you in line. Just do something. See how it makes you feel, and watch their body language. Watch how it changes. It's amazing. It's really true. So anyhow, just remember, and as again, it doesn't matter what it is. We just need to know what it is. So anyhow, I guess that does it for today. I want to thank everybody for being here this week. I only do this Monday through Thursday, so I won't see you again until Monday. But check out the blog, Stepping Aside, and imsteppingaside.com. The lunar transits are up on the blog. There's a couple other new things up there as well, so check that out if you want. I post a lot of my stuff over on Medium, so I'm over there too, but it's the same stuff I put on my blog. I just put it over there too. So, but anyway, have a wonderful weekend. If it's cold where you are, stay warm. Since we went to the store, I'm hoping we don't have to go back again. We can just stay home and not go out there again. But if not, then, it is what it is. So we'll see you Monday. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.